Hey guys, welcome back to the NFL Addict. Today we're going to be looking back at my preseason predictions, and what this basically means is we're going to go through and look at every single team, and I have also gone through and looked at all my predictions that I made preseason. And this was, I think I made them, like right before the season started. So this is about as up to date. They were pretty up to date predictions. So I can't, look at the Patriots prediction and go like, oh, they didn't have Cam Newton or anything. But so basically, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna kind of use this first one as kind of an example. I'm gonna have the team name up here and the logo. We're gonna start off with the first seed, like what it actually was. So like I'm on the AFC. So the next team will be the second seed, and so on until we get the NFC. But basically, what I have is I have my prediction, which was I did before the season, which I thought that they were going to go 13-3 second seed, and they actually went 14-2 and had the first seed, so I was only one game off. And if it's green, I'm going to have green be 0 games off to 3 games off, because that's when I feel good about that. If I'm, from perfect to if I'm around 3 games off, I'm pretty good about that. 4 and up, that's when it gets red. Also, these are green because winning records are green, losing records are red, and 8-8 is orange, and playoffs are green, and not playoffs are red. I'm trying to keep it quick for each of these. So the Bills, I basically got it completely right, 13-3. They're about what I thought they were. So we're gonna kind of do it like that pretty quick. The Steelers, I thought Big Ben was gonna be, a broken down old man. I thought he was gonna play pretty terribly, have one of his worst seasons. Not proud of this one. Completely wrong. I apologize to that one Steelers fan that back before the preseason, I had like him. There was just one Steelers fan that commented like every single video, and he's kind of disappeared now though. So if he does watch this, say hi. Next up, Tennessee Titans, about what I thought they would. There's only one game off. I had the same seed. They played really well. Ryan Tannehill did a bit better than I expected, but that didn't really translate that much in my prediction. Next up, Ravens. Thought they would catch fire a lot earlier. We saw them catch fire towards the end of the season. I thought they'd be 14-2 first seed, winning that AFC North by far, but no. I was 3 games off, so I'm pretty proud about it. But still not the best. They're playing pretty well, like I thought they would. Next up, the Browns. I did not expect them to catch fire like this. I thought they would have another rough season. I thought they would go 6-10 and consider, getting rid of Baker Mayfield. Wasn't the case. Next up, we have the Colts. I had them at 9-7, but I had them in the 8th seed this season. They went 11-5 in the 7th seed. I did not expect that defense to play that well. I thought it'd be all about the offense. That offense actually played a bit worse than I expected. However, that defense blew me out of the water. Next up, we have the Dolphins. I don't even want to talk about this. I thought they'd be starting Tua. I had heard stuff about them not starting Tua until like next season or something, but no. And also, if they had Ben Fitzmagic in, they probably would still have a 9-7, 10-6 record, possibly even better. I was really dumb about this. This was one of my worst predictions by far. Next up, we have the Las Vegas Raiders are exiting. Well, I guess we did exit the playoffs. Perfectly right about this one. See what I'm talking about? 8-8 is orange. Because it's not really good, but it's not really bad either. I had them at the 9th seed, and they ended up getting the 9th seed. This was perfect. Next up, we had the New England Patriots. This is when I knew that Cam Newton was on here. So I thought, Cam Newton would go in there and completely change them. I was kind of hyping him up. I was one of the people who thought that Cam Newton was still who he was in the old days. I didn't really trust that offense. I thought he didn't have enough weapons, but I thought Cam Newton was enough of a boost to get him into the postseason. Didn't work out. Still pretty proud of it, though. It's only 2 games off. It does seem like a big difference between 7-9 and 9-7, though, as we're seeing here with the Chargers. I didn't expect them to play as well as they did at the end of the season. That 4-game winning streak they had towards the end of the season this season was pretty freaking good. Also they played really well all season. And in my opinion, I think they should be, an 11-5 team, but whatever. I had them at 9-7 and making the playoffs, but they didn't. This one, perfect. I got a lot of hate for this one. Like the Steelers one. Oh, except for this one was actually, wow. So let me go back to the Broncos. Sorry. This one was actually not warranted because a lot of Broncos fans I got into argument after argument about how Drew Lock is, because this was around the time when people were saying that Drew Lock is potentially the MVP this year. Did not happen. I felt I feel really cocky about this now because I had a lot of hate comments about putting them at 5, 11, and 13 seed. And yeah, they were in the 12th seed, but whatever. Next up, we have the Bengals. Only 2 games off on this one. They played, I think if Joe Burrow had been in there, they probably would have been a 6-9-1, but again, it's not much of a difference. So I think they played about, I'm really proud about this one. I got it about spot on. Next up, we have the Texans again. I had them at 10-6 in the 5th seed. I thought Will Fuller and that team was. I thought David Johnson and Will Fuller were going to let them not. I thought they would get a bit of a downshift, but I definitely did not expect them to go 4-12 and have the 14th seed. So yeah, I was way off about this one. One of my dumber predictions. Next up, we have the Jets. 2-14, 2-14. Again, another one that I got a lot of hate on, but a lot of times when you put a team at 2-14, you're getting a lot of hate. I had this one guy. I think I was in an argument with him for about a week, just like constantly commenting back and forth. Right after the season ended, I think when they were 0-13, I responded to his last comment that was like making fun of Washington, which is my favorite team. And I was like, so the Jets are going to do good this year, right? And he got kind of mad about that. But yeah, I'm pretty proud about this one. And then we have the Jaguars. I was pretty spot on about this one. I thought they'd be starting Gardner Minshew for the whole season. He got injured, didn't start, whatever. I think if they had started Gardner Minshew, they might have gone 3-13, 2-14. I'm not sure. Either way, pretty proud about this one. Moving on. Next up. We are now entering the NFC. Like I said, I'm trying to keep these kind of short because I don't think you want to hear about every single team. It'll get boring and repetitive, so I'm trying to speed it up. The Packers, I did not expect their offense to play as well as it did. This one was one where, I kind of thought it would be all about their defense, but it was exactly the opposite. So I don't feel really good about that one. However, it was only 2 games off. Next up, we had the Saints, 14-2 in first seed. May have been the case if Drew Brees hadn't gotten hurt, so I'm not too bad about this one. I thought they'd be one of the best teams in the league, and right now they're looking like one. Next up, we had the Seahawks. I got a lot of hate about this because I put them at 11-5. Because I was really talking them up in that whole video, and people were mad that I didn't have them at 14-2 or 13-3. I'm like, come on, man. And now they're in the same seed and they're 12-4. This one was about spot on. I'm feeling pretty proud about that one. Washington, again, I'm pretty proud about this one. I had them winning the division. This one, I'm not too proud about the prediction. Again, there seems to be a big difference between 9-7 and 7-9. I feel really proud about the fact that I predicted that the NFC East would be absolutely terrible. Because again, look at my prediction. I have them at the 4th seed. I thought that the NFC East would completely collapse this season, and looky at the NFC East. Next up, we had the Buccaneers. I had them about spot on again. I love this because at the before the season, I was getting so much hate. I genuinely thought I was an idiot because of all the comments. Then I decided to do this video a few weeks ago. Now I'm doing it, and I'm seeing all these with 1, 2, maybe 3 games off. And man, it feels good. But the big I got that about right. I was one of the only people who thought the Rams would be good this year. I thought they would bounce back, and they did. Look at it. I thought they'd be a bit better than they were. Obviously 11-5 when they actually went 10-6. I feel really good about this one too, mainly because this was another one I got a lot of hate for because I got people in my comments saying, yeah, I respect it, but I think they'll go 5-11. I think they'll go 6-10. Look at me now. Next up, we have the Bears, another one. I was on a hot streak right there, but it has come to an end. I had the Bears at 2-4 team. I had them dead last. I did not expect Mitchell Trubisky to play the way that he did. With Mitchell Trubisky, they went, 6-1, I'm pretty sure is what they went with Mitchell Trubisky. I did not expect Mitchell Trubisky to play this well. I definitely did not expect them, even if they went 8 to make the playoffs. I was 6 game off. I feel bad about this. Bears fans, I don't think this video got very much traction, so I didn't get too much hate for this. But Bears fans, I am sincerely sorry. Y'all completely blew me out of the water at the end of the season, meaning that you played really well at the beginning and really well at the end. The Cardinals, I had you guys kind of the same deal as this year. You didn't have a bad record, but I had you missing the playoffs. I had you guys at 9-7, but in the 10th seed. I just didn't think their offense would be I thought maybe next year. I was thinking that this year would be, a pretty good year, but not good enough to get them into the postseason. And here we go. I was only 1 game off. I think I was pretty close. And yeah, next up, we have the Vikings. I was at 10-6. I think a lot of people were putting the Vikings around 10-6, like I was. Nobody expected them to go 7-9. I don't even know what happened. They got rid of Stephon Diggs, but they added Justin Jefferson, and Justin Jefferson played really well this season. I don't know what happened to the Vikings. But yeah, I was 3 games off. 3 is kind of on the edge, but I like to, just say, hey, it wasn't that bad. Next up, we have the 49ers. I thought they were going to be 10-6 in the 8th seed, though. I thought a 10-6 team would miss the playoffs in the NFC. I thought it would be completely flip-flop. I didn't expect an 8-8 team to come anywhere close in the NFC. And for all we know, they would have gotten 10-6 if they hadn't gotten injured in like week 2. However, that is what the case was. So I don't feel as bad about this one as if, they had stayed healthy. But yeah, still, I was 4 games off. I was pretty wrong. Next up, we have the Giants. I was pretty close about this one. I had them going 4-12. And then they actually went 6-10. I had them in the 14th seed. So, I'm not, too bad about this one. Their defense definitely played a lot better than I expected it to this whole season. But the records are pretty close. So, other than the fact that their defense was really, really, really good this season, I'm not too, sad about this one. Next up, the Cowboys. Again, I expected the NFC East to kind of collapse. And I had the Cowboys in 9-7 at the 9th seed. And I think, if Dak had stayed healthy, they would have been around 9-7. Probably would have won the NFC East, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, they ended up going 6-10. So, I'm not too bad about this one. I think, I was about to be spot on if Dak Prescott had stayed healthy. But yeah, I did not expect Andy Dalton to play a snap. Next up, we had the Panthers. Spot on. Let's go. 5-11. Just wiping my hands off with this amazingness that I'm seeing. And also, we've got the Detroit Lions, 1 game off. All these bad teams are pretty obvious. Had them at 4-12. They ended up going 5-11. I don't know why. I don't know how, somehow, but I was thinking that Matthew Stafford was going to have a bad season. I think I must have been, delusional or something. But hey, only 1 game off, only 1 seed off. Feeling pretty good about this one. All right.